so relaxing without Jackson.
Yeah. I wonder where he is.
I don't know. Hope he's having a good time.
Yeah.
It's kind of peaceful not having all the loud music all the time.
Yeah. Man, I wish it was back to those old days where it was just you and me, you know?
I know. It's kind of like sitting on a beach and just hearing the breeze of the wind. Not any of his weird sex noises that he likes to do while he's setting up the audio.
Yeah, or like, you know that like silence that you hear? You know, do you hear it? Wait, do you hear it? Silence.
I love that.
Welcome to How the Blank by What the Blank Entertainment, and this is...
How the Silent Partner. Man, that shit hurts. Having duct tape on my face, dude.
So it happens a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Take this, camera.
Oh man.
So yeah, we just wanted to go over a few things. So yeah, so summer things are changing up for How the Blank a little bit. Yep. We're getting the K.I.M Project up and ready. We're excited. We're gonna do that the last week of June to the end of July, and we're really excited for that.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be so much
excited.
fun. I'm so excited, man.
It'll be really fun.
And then Jackson, what are you doing this summer?
Yeah, so this summer I have actually been offered a lot of different positions to go do stuff this summer. But one main particular thing is I've actually been offered to do summer sales, selling pest control for a company that I also currently work with. And so I'm going to be leaving for the summer, like beginning of May, end of April kind of. And so literally I'm just going to be out there from like May until like end of August pretty much is when I'm going to be out there. So it's going to be a long time without me, but hopefully I should be able to come back and make some money and help out with a lot more things when I get back. But
unless he's eaten by a really big spider.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
That's almost happened last year, actually.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna succeed this year.
Dude,
Just spider animation.
Dude, when I was in Kentucky last year, I actually have a video of it. I'll see if I can send it to one of you guys so you guys can put it in there. But I got a video of this big freaking spider out in Kentucky. It was crawling up my glove, and it was like massive, dude. It was like this freaking big. It was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, so
I'm hiring a better one this year. No. So Jackson is going out to build up his sales skills and network a little bit with some of the music talent out in Nashville.
Yep.
That's where you're going, Nashville?
Yep, Nashville.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be going to Lubbock, Texas at first for like the first month maybe. And then I'm being transferred out to Nashville. So that'll be a good spot to learn like the music scene out there in that area and kind of get an idea of like, you know, who's out there and what's going on really. And it'll give me a good opportunity to market and at least get some conversation started with people and, you know, learn what I can do with other people out there. So
basically, he won't live in the studio.
Yeah, I'm not going to be trapped here anymore.
He might actually shower once.
or twice.
Or 3 times.
All jokes aside, his hygiene's pretty decent.
Decent.
That was just a joke. Just a joke.
Not a joke,
guys.
But so the music department's kind of shutting down on the custom music projects, but only for that temporary time being, which is why the joke is kind of Jackson's going silent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna be the silent partner for the summer, temporarily, but we'll be back up and running probably like early September.
Yeah, and we just wanted to announce this through our podcast because this is kind of where we get all of our news to you guys, right? We notify you about the projects we're working on, the projects we have worked on, right? We give you all the know, and we wanted to keep you in the know,
Yep.
right? And so we wanted to help you that way and figure it out. So
forget about Fox, forget about CNN, go to How the Blank.
That's where you get your news, your reputable news source.
Howtheblank.org.
Is that what that is?
You said reputable. You mean reputable.
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 I got the tism.
Lives on a couch, all with the tism.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That'd be a funny thing to throw in there.
Well, it's there now.
Yeah. Yeah, but we kind of wanted to go over just like what's happening in our summer, what's why we're doing this, right, and what we're doing going forward, right? So so I know like you've been approached by all these companies. What made you finally decide to go on summer sales and just kind of leave the company not leave the company, but go silent for 4 months, you know?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of stuff that kind of took place like in the months leading up to it. I mean, I guess it pretty much started up in like December when things were kind of just like, I don't know, it was like a lot of things just kind of hit all at once. And then it just kind of got like built up over time. And it finally got to a point where I was like, okay, well, I need to make a lot more money at this point, and I need to be able to take care of my family and myself. And I have a lot of other responsibilities that I'm going to start having at the end of the summer that I need to make sure I can actually, you know, do. And so that was like the decision that I kind of made, because I talked to a couple of different companies, but one of the companies I talked to, they're definitely more of like the sales bro type of dudes, and you can tell that they're like really cocky about what they do, and they're like, oh yeah, you go with us because we'll make you a lot of money, blah blah blah.
Hey, you want to sell some pest control?
Yeah.
Want to buy a watch? Don't buy us. We're fakes.
Yeah. And I talked to them about it, and they gave me a good deal at first. I was like, okay, that's not too bad. But I went back to
You mean the salespeople were selling you?
oh yeah, dude, for real, like who would have thought?
How terrible.
Yeah, but that's kind of what those guys do, is like they have recruiters that are specifically like made for that kind of thing. It's like their whole job is literally to sell the sales pitch to a recruit and get them to sell, and they make money off of the recruits that they get. And so I kind of was like, well, I mean,
Sounds like an MLM.
Yeah, but,
it does.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good deal. But I went back to the owner of the company that I'm with currently, and I've been with them since like October, and because I've been doing pest control for pretty much a year at this point. And I was like, I mean, I've already been with this company for a while. You know, I have rapport built up with these guys. I know the owners really well, like they're family friends, and so I know who's writing my checks. I know who I need to talk to about any problems or issues, and I already know the owners of the other offices across the country. And so I was like, I mean, I don't even know this company's owner, and they're going to be selling their company to another guy. Yeah, yeah, but you know, they're going to be selling their company to another company here in like a couple of months or a year from now. And so I'm like, why would I go with a company who's constantly selling out and getting new owners constantly? That just doesn't make any sense. And then the owner that I'm with, he ended up giving me a much better deal, and he offered me a lot more compared to what the other company was offering me. So I was like, well, it's actually a lot better deal to go with them. Like, sure, the other company is going to California, and they're a lot closer to home, so I could travel back and forth a lot more. But at the same time, it's like, I'd have a better shot out there with this company that I already know the guys at. I've already met all the other dudes that are going out there. I already know the owner of the office that I'm going to. And so it just made more sense for me to go with these guys. And like, I know for a fact I can do really well with doing sales. I've been doing it for the last like month or two, and I've already been doing pretty good, just even in the St. George area, because like St. George, when you're selling pest control, is like so hard because they're like, it's so saturated, and there's already people that just either do it for super cheap, or they just kind of have another company do it. So it's like so hard to like sell it out here. But
That sounds like a free market.
yeah, but it's crazy because like this place is just hard to sell at. And so I've already been doing sales out here, And everyone's like, dude, if you're already making sales out here in St. George, you may as well take your shot out there for the summer and actually like make some real money.
So Nashville, Tennessee, he's telling us you're easy.
You're easy, Nashville.
Okay, but I do have another like actual question because you did pest control last year.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like on the teching side.
Yeah.
But you would also talk even in past episodes about how you failed miserably and lost money on that. So what made you want to start again when you're in a bigger risk this year?
So that is actually a good question, because last year when I was recruited, I was originally being recruited to do sales last year, but I was like, I'm not going to be good at sales. I've never tried it before, and I didn't know anything about sales at the time, and I was not confident in myself about it, and I didn't know like what I was even selling. I didn't know anything about pest control at the time, and so I was like, well, I have a guaranteed way to actually make money if I go out there. And so when I went out there, like, yeah, sure, I ended up making a certain amount of money, but I didn't end up coming home with that money because it was already being spent on rent and car payments and other things like that. And so that money ended up just being gone by the time I came home. And I was only guaranteed up to like $25,000.
But also, you were the top tech in the whole company for what was it, 3 or 4 months straight?
Yeah,
you were number one in
yeah.
the whole company.
Yeah, I was the number one tech for like a solid 2 months or something like that. But I kind of started losing motivation later on in the summer because I was realizing like, oh my gosh, like this money is not coming in. This isn't really doing what I wanted it to be able to do for us.
But if you're so this is what I've always been confused on. If you're the top guy, how are you the one losing the most money?
Dude, okay. You know what really made me mad? Okay, so here's the deal with that whole thing, man. This really pissed me off because I was the top tech in the company, in the country for so long. I was out there like a month and a half before the other guys got out there. And dude, I was training the new guys. Like I was literally training the new guys. And I was working with one of the top sales guys in the entire industry. And so I was his personal tech. I would spray all the houses that he sold. And then I would train all the new guys that came out to do teching. And I still got paid less than everyone else.
You said you'd spray the new guys?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why you didn't make much money.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, like what ended up happening is there was an issue that took place with one of the newer guys that showed up, and he came out like a month and a half after I was there. Like I was there early April, he showed up like mid-May, and so he ended up telling, I don't know if he told the guy that he was getting paid this much or whatever, but basically there was an issue that took place where he ended up getting paid like $18 an hour, and I was getting paid $15 an hour.
But you guys are getting paid?
And yeah, it was so weird because it was his first year out there. It was my first year out there. I trained his ass for like a solid 2 weeks. And
only his butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
no, but
and you were still the top performer.
Yeah, and I was still a top performer, and I was still a personal tech.
Or were you the top scam?
Yeah,
that's a good question.
A lot of the information you're like saying, and I know it's true because it was like on their social media all the time that Jackson Litchfield was the top tech for the whole summer. So that's how I know it's like legitimate. But like when you came back negative money,
it made no sense. It made no sense, dude. I was so mad. And another problem though that I also had last year is I would spend money on food as well because like you're staying out there in an apartment, but they also took.
You're not allowed to eat?
No, dude, for real not. No, I'm just kidding. But like so like they also made you take out. So they would take out money from your paycheck every month. And they ended up actually not wanting to give me back my rent reimbursement because they said I didn't pay enough money in my rent.
What?
Yeah, but I did, dude. So originally the deal was like I was going to be in this apartment for this amount of like weeks or months, and then I was going to be in this apartment for married housing because my wife came out at that time, and then for like the last month I was in single housing again. But they said I was in married housing for the entire summer. And so what happened was it ended up going up to like almost $10,000 for the rent reimbursement thing. That I was supposed to be spending like $10,000 at the end of the summer, and that wasn't right because I was in single housing for like half of the summer. And I was like, wait, that's not right. And they're like, oh well, we can't give you the rent reimbursement because you didn't give us like the extra $3,000 that you owed us. I was like, bless you, dude. That was a good one.
Sorry, that like killed me. I was trying to hold it back. Allergies are killing me today, man.
He's allergic to losing money on you, Jackson.
Me too. Anyway, but it was just so annoying because they didn't want to give me my rent reimbursement back, and I had to fight with them for like a solid 2 weeks, dude. like constantly just like emailing them and like messaging them. And eventually it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I was out there for these days in this apartment. I was out there for these days in this apartment, and then I was out there for these days in this apartment. So why are you not sending me my rent reimbursement? And they're like, oh, well, you still owe us like almost $3,000. I'm like, no, I don't, dude. I gave you the money that I owed you, and you took it out of my paycheck. How is this my fault?
So did you pay? So did you have to pay it anyway?
No, dude, because after I fought for like 2 straight weeks, they finally gave it back to me. They're like, oh yeah, we made a mistake, and no one wanted to check it, so here's your money back. And then they gave me like $2,200 back out of the $25 that they owed me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And now he's going out to do it again.
With a different company.
With a different company.
Yeah.
With a different company. And,
Like-
and here's the thing, I actually trust this guy that I'm with because I know him really well.
You said that last year.
Well, I actually didn't trust the company that I went with because the thing is that I was recruited through a marketing company to go spray for a pest control company, because like the way they do it is they have marketing companies that go out and sell for the pest control companies, and then you're hired like actually through the pest control company if you're a tech. So you're not actually being hired through the marketing company, you're just kind of working alongside with them. And so like, yeah, I trusted my brother-in-law, who is like the top dog of that marketing company. But the problem is that he wasn't able to really do anything about like the issues that the company was giving me, because it's not his company. So he couldn't do anything really about it except for just talk to them, which was an issue because I had so many issues that kind of just came up throughout that whole summer and just kind of ruined like the whole teching experience for me.
So lesson that we've learned from these past 2 episodes is don't trust Jackson's extended family.
Yes. No, but anyway, so yeah, I'm going out.
Don't worry, Jackson will never be part of our recruiting process. Our recruiting process.
Our recruiting purchase.
Yeah, but no, so I know this year could be a lot different because I'm already doing good in sales, and I've already been offered a really good opportunity with this other company that I'm at. I know the guy really well. Actually, I know the owners really well. I know the owners of each office really well. And I'm going to be doing training with one of the owners of one of the offices down in Alabama. He's coming out, and he's going to be training me here for like the next month. And so I'm going to be getting like direct contact, like training with him. And he's really good, dude. Like he made like 12 sales in like 3 days, like last week. That's pretty dang good for a pest control thing. I mean, if you break it down, like if you average each contract to like $1,000, and he's getting like 60% commission, I mean that's pretty good.
That's $600, yeah, per sale. So that's
yeah,
pretty good.
I made that in 3 days, dude. Like that's
Braxton comes from an actual sales family.
You should do it, man. I'll recruit you.
No, what's funny is my family's done sales, like all these things.
Yeah.
And I had a friend that was trying to convince me for years to do it. Like he still to this day has like, hey, are you still willing? I'm like, no, like no. But it's mainly because I have this friend who is like my landlord and one of my best friends, and he went on summer sales and he lost $5,000 like from doing it, and he made 10 grand total, right? Like
That's rough.
I hear that a lot. Like everybody I've talked to, I've only heard of Jackson's people that he won't say the names of actually making money off of this.
So it kind of depends on who you talk to, because like I knew a lot of guys that went out with that marketing company from last year, and they were like brand new guys. They didn't do hardly any training or whatever, and they went out thinking they were going to do really well and make a lot of money, and they got out there and they ended up going back home like 2 weeks later to a month later, because like what happens is if you don't do enough training and if you don't go out and practice enough before you actually get out there, it's a big mental and emotional game. Like if you're not like willing to like practice and put in the time, and even if you're failing at first, if you're not willing to like make it better for yourself, like yeah, you're gonna fail and you're gonna end up landing on your face and going home. And that's one thing that I know for a fact I'm not gonna be doing, because I'm not a quitter for one, and I know for a fact I'm smart enough to like figure things out and make it work. And I've already been doing good enough here, even in one of the hardest markets on freaking planet Earth. And everyone's been telling me, like, dude, you're already doing well here. Like, you may as well just make it happen and actually just do it out there in an area that actually is a good market. And there's not a lot of competition in the place that I'm going to. So it really, in theory, it really shouldn't be as bad as, like, the way that these guys are making it seem.
and
I just
we're,
like to rhythm with it.
Yeah,
No, seriously though.
no,
I'm not.
Okay,
I mean,
but
I'm
you're
not too
saying-
worried about it though.
Okay, another question. You said it's a better market because there's no competition.
There's not that much competition. There still is competition, but it's not like as much as there is out here. There's like 30 companies out here.
and there's more need, right?
Yes, there's way more. Dude, there's not
Yeah.
that many spiders or ants out here. Like, yeah, ants are out here and just scorpions, but it's like people out here don't give a crap about pest control out here. They're like, well, I don't really need it because I've never seen bugs in my yard. It's like, well, dude, you got ants right there, and like, well, I don't need it because bugs don't exist in St. George. But like, dude, when I was in Kentucky, dude, these guys were able to make like 10 to 20 sales a freaking day out there because they got spiders all over their house, they got fire ants in their yard, they got wasps everywhere, and it's so easy to like convince somebody like, dude, these bugs are like all over your house. Like, it'd be super easy to just get you set up right now. People would just take it because like, oh yeah, I got bugs right there. But here in St. George, like, you never see anything really, and so it's so hard to get people to actually like click with it here. And they've already got someone like, oh well, I pay like $10 a month to do it here. It's like, well, yeah, but they're spraying just your foundation and then they leave. It takes them like 2 seconds to do it. You could do that on your own for $10 a month. Like, it's not that hard for them to do it. But like other companies that do like everything from like your front curb all the way to the back end of your property, yeah, it takes time, it takes money.
And the layered, right? The
Mhm.
layered
Yep.
type.
Yep, and it does take like experience to actually know how to do that properly. Like these other companies that just spray your foundation, any monkey could just get that job and do it. Like, it's not hard to do. You know what I mean? Like those are easy to do. And so like having people that know the experience and like have that experience in it, and even with me having the experience in spraying houses and knowing the service really well and knowing the bugs that are really bad in areas, like it would be really easy for me to like tell people like, dude, ants are subterranean, they're going to be in your freaking ground, they're going to be creating these homes in your house, and they're going to try to get into your home to get to your food. Like, it'd be easy for us to get in there and spray them and kill them. And it wouldn't be hard for me to like convince people like, dude, like bugs. And they're like, oh yeah, bugs. Like, okay, cool. There you go. Bugs. I mean, dude, it's literally just a big conversation about bugs when it comes down to it. Like, you just talking to people about bugs.
Do you like bugs?
Yeah, I like bugs. I used to eat bugs.
This is true.
Brandon knows.
Brandon knows all.
Well, when I was like 5, dude, I tried to eat a spider one time when I was like 5. Worst decision of my life. So I never tried to eat bugs ever again.
I think the spider tried to eat you in Kentucky.
And revenge.
Yeah,
it was.
we'll put that
around
video
too.
up. Yeah, we'll put that video up, dude. That's a crazy video.
So once you're back, once you go out there and you get your sales training and you're back to being in the studio, what are you most excited for from like September through December? What are you looking forward to?
Dude, I want to be able to set up events either down here or up in the Ogden, Salt Lake area. And I think it'd be freaking fun to go to small businesses and either try to get either sponsorships from them or even just set up small venues and events. And hopefully by that time, we will have at least enough capital for me to invest into it to actually get something started. Because in that way, we'll actually be able to get that set up, and then we can get the money back, and then some on top of it. So that should be able to help us out significantly. But not even just that, but like even be able to do marketing and sales, even online or even just in person, and getting like clients for like custom music or just splicing and editing, or even getting people interested in helping us out with venues and events. Because at least at that point, we'll have at least a little money to use to actually put forward into these projects that we want to do. And before like the end of the season ends, like at least we'll be able to get something set up to where we're able to make some sort of profit by the end of the year. So it will help me get the experience that I need to be able to like say, okay, well, this is what we're looking for. This is the goal that we're trying to get to. And let's connect you with this thing and let's get this thing set up. And it should be a good experience overall. I mean, yeah, it's going to be hard. I know that. And I know I'm going to be struggling for a while, but I'm not just going to give up and say, oh, well, I'm not making sales my first week, so I'm done. You know, like that happens to a lot of those young kids that go out there with hardly any experience and they just go home after like 2 weeks and they're like, oh, well, I didn't do well. It's like, yeah, no shit, you didn't do well. You were out there for 2 weeks and you gave up, dude.
Yeah. You have to develop a skill.
Yeah.
So, okay, Braxton, while Jackson's gone, how are we going to party?
Yeah, so we're actually going to do a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So we're getting the K.I.M Project up. What's funny is Brandon and I are actually starting our own channel for just us, right, as friends.
It's not part of Let the Blank.
But But we're just
Yeah.
gonna have fun with that, and then
Yeah.
we're making our own photo booth thing.
Yes, we're gonna set
That'll
up
be
at
fun.
some of the summer festivals because around Utah County and Salt Lake, there's so many, and we're wanting to set up like these really fun photo booths because we have like this huge closet of clothes that we acquired from another theater that shut down last year,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been waiting for opportunities to use them, and there's just so many fun props and stuff.
Perfect
So
opportunity.
we're gonna set up down at some of the fairs and have a photo booth. So come check us out, make some funny poses, get on this camera, and you'll look as good as us.
Yeah, or even better.
Hopefully, they look better than us.
Probably better.
Yeah.
Then we have the K.I.M Project starting. The registration's already rolling out.
Yep.
That's awesome.
We're getting the PayPal all set up, so soon we'll be able to register and pay through our website, whattheblank.org.
Mm-hmm.
By the time
New website revamped.
yeah,
It
revamped.
looks really good.
We look like a blue Nickelodeon.
It does kind of with the slide.
Yeah, but I think we look good though. Like I really love this new website. We've been able to revamp a lot of things. Has all of our pricing and everything. So yeah, go check that out. Go check out our other social medias as Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, and TikTok. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this was How the Silent Partner.
Yeah.
Hey, no one told you to talk.
Yeah.
Where's the duct tape?
I threw it at the camera.
And look for updates on the K.I.M Project coming late June.
Yeah.
Like 2 months away.
Yeah.
Wait. People are already enrolling, so get a spot while there's still some open.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.